Oh, hello! Welcome! Quipster Puck here. You know, it's been brought to my attention that I should be helping others more. So in the spirit of helping others, I decided to scour this thing that you mortals call the internet in search of somebody that could use my assistance. And I think I may have found him. This guy's having some real trouble. Let's have a look.
When I was just a boy, I remember having reoccurring nightmares of a man who would follow me off in the distance. As I grew older, he would become closer, and eventually he became close enough to show his face. With a smile, grotesque and wide, a shiver of unease would rush over me. One day, I decided to confront him, and he just smiled and laughed and said,
"Why don't you let me out more?"
After that, I began learning about lucid dreaming and began practicing it. I continued to notice that I could change anything but him and what he said. If I tried to change his words, he would become furious and would begin repeating himself. Now, he will communicate with me, always starting with,
"Why don't you let me out more?"
But sometimes I will fall asleep, only to be paralyzed with fear as he stands at the edge of my bed quietly, watching me and my wife sleep with that messed up grin. On multiple occasions, I have had conversations with him in which I have felt an overwhelming sense of unease. He has, however, never stated any meaning of malice or malcontent, but just an undying urge to escape. I fear that if he escapes, people will be hurt, and that he is not a kind person. He also, may I add, seems to be trapped with my soul, like he's bound to me by some supernatural force. In addition, again amongst the countless times I have encountered him, he has never changed, and he is not my subconscious. I can actually interact with my subconscious in my lucid dreams, and it is a different entity entirely, hunting, stalking, and laughing. He just follows and begs for a moment that I will release him. I have so many questions about him that he won't answer, like, "What are your intentions?" To which he replies with,
"Let me out."
And "Why are you with me?" Which he just starts laughing at me. And "Why don't you just leave?" In which he replies with,
"Now, why would I do something like that?"
I even went to the lengths of contacting a psychiatrist, and each one just said they want to get me back on my ADHD medication, and that would fix my problem. But when I take my medicine, he gets worse and begins to get aggressive. I reached out to a friend at one point, also that is studying to be a psychiatrist, and he said that this feels like the physical manifestation of a suppressed memory that was traumatizing, that I have deep inside, and referred me to a hypnotist. The hypnotist, however, found nothing, as he poked and prodded with my subconscious mind, leading me to believe that I am followed by an unwanted follower. This story is real, and I wish I was making it up. I have also found out that the more I interact with him, the more angry and depressed I get. And it has been rough trying to get rid of him. I also seem to scare babies and animals for no reason other than being in the same room as them. And this is very troubling, seeing how I am a very loving person. I do feel, however, that I need to contact a priest, because I have become increasingly distant and destructive in the past months.
Well, it definitely looks like you're having some trouble. But don't worry, Dr. Puck is here to help. Here, take 2 of these and call me in the morning, little helper. Make sure that he takes 2 and tell our smiling friend to get ready for freedom. Well, now that I've done my good deed for the year, I guess that's all for the night. Have a good night. Ta-ta.